Hi everyone, alongside Mike Trossel, I'm Dave Giancola, and thank you for joining us for History Makers. Well, we all know what Inbee Park has become in professional golf, but back before the 2008 U.S. Women's Open at Interlachen Country Club, she was barely removed from the junior golf ranks.
Yeah, Dave, Park was one of the most decorated junior golfers of the era, having won the U.S. Girls Junior Championship in 2002, just days after her 14th birthday. After finishing runner-up in the girls junior in 2003 and 2005, Park was looking for some more USGA hardware. She earned that hardware on Sunday with a steady performance amid brutally tough course conditions that flattened much of the field.
Park went on to win the Women's Open just 2 weeks shy of her 20th birthday to become the first teenage winner in championship history. Here's the conclusion to her epic week.
Second shot for Inbee Park, up the hill at 11.
Actually shares the distinction with Tiger Woods and Hollis Stacy of being the only players to be a three-time medalist in qualifying for USGA Championship.
That's a sweet shot there. So slow and smooth, but a nice thud at impact.
Our first look at the par 5 13th. This is Teresa Liu at her third shot. Tee is up at 13 today, so players will have an opportunity to reach that green in 2 shots. And at the 14th, the par 3, Annika Sorenstam, who is currently a +5 for a deuce. Where has that been all week, she says.
Really only made one putt that mattered yesterday at the 17th for a par.
That is her first birdie in her last 23 holes. At the 11th, Helen Alfredson has this for a par. Jane?
Well, she drove it in the left rough and did not have an angle to the green, hit the trees, and this is the result of her pitch shot. Pin high. This is going to have quite a bit of right to left break.
Has she made a putt yet today? She made some 2-putt birdies, right?
Yeah, she hit the green in 2 on the 10th hole and 3-putted, and you know, Helen, this is just her nemesis, this putting, and when she missed that 1.5-foot putt back on the 3rd, I think it was pretty much all over mentally for her. She's putted very poorly since then and just looks very out of sorts, but maybe that'll keep her going.
She's not out of it at -4. She's got a chance with a good finish.
Well, she can just stay there mentally, Johnny. That's the key.
Yeah, she's had 23 putts in 11 holes, and that's you know, that's not going to win too many championships, but like we said, she's just 3 out of it.
Over at the 12th, Angela Park, a lengthy putt for a rare birdie 2. Just been 2 here all day long.
It's looking good till that last foot, huh?
Yeah, got a little work left now for par. And Johnny, as you always say, the hole tends to shrink on the final day of a U.S. Open.
Yes, it does.
All right, back at 10, Stacey Lewis with her third shot. Raj.
120 yards, Gary, and hole cut just over the top of a little bit of a ridge in the green on the right-hand side.
Well,
that's a nice play.
Yeah, that is a very good shot. Not much room right of the flagstick as we go to 11.
At the 11th, Inbee Park for a birdie.
Not sure what happened there, whether the ball...
There was a gust of wind there, Johnny. It might have just started oscillating a little bit. But Inbee Park recently spent some time working with Stan Utley, the PGA Tour guru of putting of late.
Yeah, interesting, Jane. They put her on his technically perfect machine. Her stroke was technically perfect, and she said, well, that's all I need to know.
Well, there you go.
Well, that was the 3rd birdie in 4 tries for Inbee Park, so 11 has been good to her this week. She now has a 3-shot lead.
She's making putts. The only player making putts.
Back to 10.
And Paula Creamer walking all the way up to the green to try to survey the situation, Roger.
Yeah, I've got to pitch a little over 40 yards, and the tree limbs overhanging are an issue. Got to keep the ball down underneath those. It's going to have to land the ball short of the ridge and near the right fringe to get the ball at the hole, or can choose to play left and try to work from there.
What do you think, Gary? Maybe 12-footer would be great.
Yeah, I think anything inside of 15 feet would be a pretty darn good shot. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, Johnny, you could miss the green pretty easily here.
Yes, you could.
She tried to hit in that bank and not hit it and hit it over it. It's gone.
Yep. Flopped it up into the tree. Yeah. That was a very aggressive second shot, almost like she's trying to force the issue, and she's going to pay the price there at 10.
She's coming off a double bogey on the last hole also.
At the 13th, the native of Taiwan, Teresa Liu, for a birdie.
Works on her golf game with Annika Sorenstam's teacher, Henry Rice.
So a nice 4 for Liu as we go back to 12.
And Angela Park for her par. Oh,
that was supposed to break left, Gary.
You would have thought it would, Johnny, after the way the putt coming up went to the right. So she will drop back to 4 under par.
That's got to be a trick putt there, because the first one moved pretty good to the right.
All right, back at 10. Creamer now with her 4th shot.
It's makeable. I don't think I've ever seen a ball do that. You believe that, Gary?
I don't, Johnny. I mean, that was.
It was in.
It was down in the hole.
That was crazy robbery.
Well, let's take another look. I mean, this ball looks like it's going right down into the middle of the hole.
It definitely would have gone in, folks, with no flagstick. I mean, it's like a putt. Whoa. Funny things happen in golf.
Golf does funny things to you.
A lot of them aren't funny, though, actually.
All right, Stacey Lewis for her birdie.
That was right up her alley there. That hole, she said the hole looked really wide yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised to see her back on that little run. This is not a hard putt, right, Roger?
No, John, I don't think there's a whole lot of break in this putt. It was a good leave. It was a very aggressive play, playing to the right of the flagstick.
A funny thing, she looks like she's about 16 years old, but she's actually the old one. She's 23, Paula's 21, and Inbee Park's 19. That was a gimme yesterday.
Yeah, and a little frustration showing for Stacey Lewis. Haven't seen much of that as we go to 14.
Teresa Liu on the tee at the par 3.
Shares a common distinction also with Yanni Sen, who won the last major championship. She came as a junior to this country, and they share a same sponsor, Dr. Ernie Wong. Missed only 1 green today. Dr. Wong is here this week.
That is Inbee Park, and Helen Alfredson waiting on the 12th tee, and over at the 14th, which is playing. Excuse me, this is 12.
And Inbee Park waiting for this group. Mi-Yoon Kim's tee shot with a 7-wood. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one.
Gary, she's as good with those as most people are with their wedges.
I'm telling you what a shot. The best we've seen all day at the par 3 12th. Mi-Yoon Kim will have a short one to get to 5 under par, but right now it's Inbee Park with a commanding lead. Still with 7 holes left to play. Can she hang in there? Stay with us.
Welcome back to the U.S. Women's Open. Inbee Park with a 3-shot lead over Teresa Liu and Stacey Lewis. And without a doubt, one of the pre-championship favorites, the world's #1 player, Lorena Ochoa. This was her finishing out earlier at 18. And it definitely was not Lorena Ochoa's week. She couldn't get any of the rounds started. Was over par in 3 of the 4. And after she finished, she spoke with Jennifer Mills.
Lorena Ochoa comes in here golf-wise off of a terrific season this week. Was not what you had hoped it would be. Just kind of never really got clicking this week for you.
Yes, it was tough right from the beginning. You know, I never got the, in the red numbers. It was just trying to fight all the time, you know, and catch up, but it didn't happen. So I guess it's time to go home and rest a little bit.
Well, you've also had a season where it's been with a heavy heart, with the loss of a couple of close family members. This would be a good time to go home and maybe just be with your family.
Yes, I think that's what I want to do. Just relax a little bit, spend some quality time with my family, and then start practicing hard, you know, to get back and win some tournaments.
And we know you'll do just that. Congratulations on all you're doing this year.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you.
Johnny Miller, your thoughts about what went wrong for Lorena this week?
I think could be, you know, these deaths in her family could have had an effect. She sounded like she might have been a little tired of it. It's the first finish outside the top 20 in any event for her in 16 months. She's got the game. It just, you know, sometimes you try too hard. When you go to the biggest championship in golf for the women, it's like you want it so badly, just like Paula Creamer. You know, that group, that final group with Stacey Lewis, they're 9 over par already. And, you know, that's not the golf that they would normally play. They just want that trophy too badly.
Well, I think the LPGA Championship, Johnny, was a bit of a deflator for her, coming so close and having an opportunity to potentially get to the Grand Slam. It comes up one shot short there, and then the family stuff really did compound what she's been going through.
And at the 12th, IK Kim for a par to remain at 4 under. Tee shot was well to the right, in fact, in the grandstand, and went to one of the drop circles. Played a pretty nice pitch to this position. And Johnny, this is a tough putt to read. This one actually breaks left toward the back portion of the green, and
wow,
not many players have been able to pick that up.
Sounds like this 12th green is tough to read, period.
Well, that one stayed pretty straight. I've seen others move left. So she'll drop to 3 under as we go up to 14.
Teresa Liu for a birdie 2 at the par 3.
This hole moved up almost 30 yards today, but a much tougher hole location than the players have seen all week.
Look at this putt. Ooh.
Just singes the left side, but that'll be a safe 3. And we go back to 12.
And Mi-Yoon Kim with this short putt for a birdie 2. This will be just the 3rd birdie of the day recorded here. And this is a player, Dottie, that really can play. 10th year on the LPGA Tour. She's been in the top 10 on the money list 7 times. Most wins, tied for the most wins without a major with 8.
Well, the story was for a long time, Gary, people thought her parents had told her she couldn't get married until she won a major. She's getting married in December.
Well, maybe she'll claim this one. You never know. And that gets her within 3 of Inbee Park. And after a long wait, Inbee is back on the tee.
And guys, it does appear that the wind is into the players and from the left. It looks like it's kind of coming out of the northwest right at the moment, and very gusty at times, that's for sure. Playing 184 yards. And she's going with the rescue.
She's played the par 3 holes well this week, Jane. She's 1 under par on those holes, and a good set of par 3s here.
And Gary, she's got a very high ball flight. I've noticed on a couple of the holes that have been into the breeze that the ball's kind of gone up high and not really penetrated the wind. So it'll be interesting to see how she hits this one. She's going to have to aim out to the left and let the wind bring it back in to the right. And this one also going high and right.
And that will find the bunker, and she has struggled from the sand this week, has only gotten it up and down 1 of 7 times. So we go back to 11.
Second shot for Stacey Lewis.
Get one right.
That's from 102 online.
Be right.
A lot of skids there. Skidded 4 times.
So Stacey Lewis with a chance for a 3 at the 11th, but right now, Inbee Park, her first name means good queen. She may be later today. Let's take a look at some of the emotions which are always accentuated at a U.S. Open. Despair, agony, relief, anger, disbelief, Johnny and Dottie, it's interesting. The only player right now that we're not seeing those emotions from is that one right there, Inbee Park.
Well, she's got a tough up and in. We'll see what she does, but she hasn't showed anything. She could be in Vegas right now playing, I guess, whatever you call it, kind of poker, but she'd be a good poker face.
Johnny, she lives in Vegas.
Yeah, don't encourage her, right? Well, maybe, you know, that's the temperament. The thing that she has trouble with in the bunkers is she's so slow with her swing that the sand really stops the club. She doesn't give it a little thump, you know, a little bit of acceleration, right? Or throw the club head into the sand. She just sort of wipes through real slowly, and it catches up on the club.
All right, Jane, you're right there. Who'll play first?
I tell you what, it's just about a toss-up, but I would give it to Alfredson. Remain to be seen, but it looks like Helen is over the ball. Got a good clean lie back here. Just a little chip and run. Nope. Other way.
Well,
Take this all out.
Looks like Inbee is going to go ahead and play.
And Gary, this is just a perfect lie. It really shouldn't be a difficult bunker shot.
Well, that one actually had a little sound to it, Johnny.
Not much spin, though. That thing came out with no spin whatsoever.
Back to 11.
Stacey Lewis for birdie.
That's a quick one.
They're just not going in right now for her, Roger, after yesterday.
23 putts yesterday.
Back to 12.
And Alfredson's second shot from just over the back of the green.
She had some trouble here yesterday, Gary.
She did. Blew it way to the right when the hole was cut on the left, and then kind of chunked a chip, and that led to a bogey.
Oh, as I said before, she does have a good lie. Really just a straightforward little chip. Could be a good one to possibly make.
It was an awful big backswing.
Yeah, it's carrying a lot of speed.
That was a huge backswing for such a little chip.
And that distance has given her so much trouble.
Well, it was 10 years ago that fellow Korean Se-Ri Park's victory in the Women's Open convinced Inbee Park to take up the game. Now the thought of winning the Open herself is pretty special.
I don't think I can really describe that with words. I mean, it's going to be very, very special. And especially 10 years ago, I started playing golf at this time of the year when Se-Ri won this championship in '98. So that's why I picked up the golf club, looking at her winning this event. So after 10 years, I'm here and playing good in this event. Very, very special for me. And winning this event, I don't know, it's going to be very, very cool for me.
She knows how to use that word cool. That's cool.
Well, she's 19, Johnny. Let's see how she can do here on this 12th green, where we have seen a number of putts missed.
Yeah, nobody's read it right.
No, they really haven't. And
what was your read, Gary, from here?
Well, it's interesting, Jane. The ball actually tries to move a little bit to the left, but not much. It's a relatively straight putt.
Yeah, my quick read would have been just inside the hole, maybe a touch of right to left. But I tell you what, this young lady has a good putting stroke and great nerves. I've been very, very impressed this week.
Just how slow the backswing is.
Oh,
yes.
Tremendous.
Clutch.
Unflappable.
Yeah, she is 1 under par for the day, 8 under par for the championship of the top 10 players. She's the only 1 under par.
And remember, a year ago, she led this championship in putting stats.
And she is trying to become the youngest champion ever in the U.S. Women's Open. And look who she would unseat. Se-Ri Park, the lady she was just talking about, as to why she got involved in golf in the first place.
How ironic would that be?
Yeah, it'd be something. All right, Alfredson for par to remain at 4 under.
And these have always been an adventure for Helen.
Everything's missing left, Jane, the ones that are missed. She takes it back, big backswing like the chip, and then sort of quits on it on purpose. And when you do that, you pull a lot of shots.
I don't know if it's on purpose, but that's certainly what's going to happen when you take a big backswing like that.
All right, we'll move up to the 16th, 360-yard Par 4, defending champion Christy Kerr's second shot. And there's a beauty. Oh,
Gary's made a bunch of birdies this week, but just has made a bunch of others too.
She really has, which is kind of the opposite of the way she played last year when she won the tournament. All right. We'll move to the 12th tee, where Stacey Lewis will be next to play.
Is this a hook? Where is that flag stick again?
It's over on the right, about right on line with that one tree you can see to the right of the green tower there, Johnny.
Just
far right-hand side. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and you do not want to miss to the right.
And it's playing just about directly into the wind. It's a 5-iron.
Beautiful backswing, Gary.
Yeah, very high, fully extended. And that is well short, probably a club short.
Same thing yesterday. Gary came up way short.
Yes, she did. Maybe giving the downhill too much credit.
In case you just tuned in Inbee Park -8's got a 3-shot lead on Lou, Kim, and Lewis. So Inbee with those clutch putts is separating herself from the field. So Creamer -3 going the wrong direction. She shot 41 on the front 9, Paula Creamer.
It's a 4-iron here.
Doesn't like it, Raj.
That's going right.
Yeah, that's going to find the right green side bunker. Very similar position to where Inbee Park just played from.
4 out of 12 greens is all Paula's hit today. 8 greens she's missed.
Up at the 13th, Angela Park for a birdie 4. Can tell you that one went in by the crowd. And she has birdied that 13th hole every day in this championship. And this is the 13th tee. Hole is shortened up today, as we mentioned. She's playing 494 yards today.
And the wind is downwind. It's got some north wind there coming, downwind to the left. Or actually, it'd be probably downwind to the right.
Yeah, Johnny, it is downwind and from the right. And playing 494 yards using the up tee. And good solid drive. I don't know if it's going to hold the fairway, though.
Usually the slower you swing, the better you are under pressure.
Up at the 18th, Nicole Castrelli for Eagle. She is at -2.
Gosh, who knows if she were to hole this.
Boy, right in the middle of the jar if she hit it.
So the 5th-year LPGA player with just 1 win on her resume, Nicole Castrelli, has less than a foot left for birdie at 18. That would get her to -3. She would be 5 shots behind the leader, Inbee Park, who is on the 13th hole when we come back.
Welcome back to the U.S. Women's Open. We're at the 12th hole. Stacey Lewis with a long, long putt for a birdie, Raj.
Oh, that's got to be every bit of 65 feet. Cross a little ridge, then starts to work down. I would think to the right.
Well,
Yeah,
ripped one by here. Ripped it by here yesterday, Gary, and then made it coming back.
She did. And while we were away, this was Paula Creamer's second shot from the green side bunker. Been in 3 bunkers today and yet to get a ball up and down, and she's going to have work left there.
The Panther doesn't like the cat box today.
I guess. Up to 18.
Moments ago, Julia Sergis trying to get to -3 for the championship. Little slider to the right. So a nice finish, a round of 70 today. Both she and Nicole Castrelli in at 3 under par, currently in a tie for 6th. Back to 12.
And the lengthy par putt left for Creamer to remain at 3 under.
But that should move a little bit to her left.
Dottie, did you see this coming at all? That she would struggle this much?
I didn't think this much, Gary, but I can tell you, watching her like at the LPGA Championship, and at the Kraft Nabisco even, seeing it on television, she puts so much pressure on herself, wants a major championship so badly, it's almost too badly.
What an opportunity. You got, you know, Sorenstam is not doing anything. Ochoa is not doing anything, and she was right there. It was for the taking.
Well, the smiles of the first 2 days have stopped, that's for sure. Not as many smiles.
Wow.
Well, at the young age of 21, she's already been labeled the best player never to win a major. We asked her about that.
I'm the person who puts the most pressure on myself to do well, and when other people, you know, try and say, you know, you got to go out, you got to win majors, you got to win majors. I know, you know, I know what I need to do out there. I know, you know, what it takes to win, and it's a matter of timing. And I am 21. I had to learn a lot. You know, when I was 18 years old, I was a professional. I came out here and I thought I was gonna, you know, win every major there was, and it's a lot harder than that.
Well, she's not the first player to figure that out, is she, Dottie? Great Nancy Lopez never won.
Exactly. You saw the emotion come spilling out of Nancy when she had that last chance at Pumpkin Ridge.
All right, Lewis for her par to remain 3 back.
She's due. That's just not going. Surprised, Gary, with that good stroke she has?
Yeah, and you know what, John? I mean, she's not hitting bad putts. I mean, every one of them look like they have a chance, but it's amazing.
You can see she's down right now,
yeah,
big time.
She's got to be very disappointed as we go to 13.
This was moments ago, Mi-Yoon Kim trying to save a par.
Big swinger, right to left. Look at that. It's like I waved at it, but it didn't say goodbye.
And now IK Kim, this for a birdie.
Just on maybe half in and half out on the right-hand side.
Just so you know, folks, more players from Asia made the cut than from the United States. There was 27 Asians that made the cut, 24 for the U.S.
This is her second year on the LPGA Tour. IK Kim, she has never won. She does have a second place finish on her resume. And now she's chasing the Women's Open title. She's also chasing Inbee Park. Park with a 3-shot lead over Teresa Liu and Angela Park. Can she hang on and win the Open? We'll find out later. While we were away, this was Helen Alfredsson's second at 13 from 221 left rough.
Took a mighty swing at it, but got a lot of grass between the club face and the ball. But gee, good shot.
What a great shot.
Look at this. Helen.
Best of the day at 13 and a chance for an eagle 3. And now live Inbee Park's third. Jane?
Well, she's drawn a good lie in the intermediate cut of rough, no problem at all. Uphill, 42 yards, 21 to the front, and the flag's on 21, uphill all the way. Got to keep this below the flag. A treacherous putt from above. It's coming in very low. Oh, that's pretty well judged.
Coming in very nicely. Just what you ordered, Jane, below the hole. Over to 16.
Teresa Liu coming off a bogey at the 15th is now 4 under par. Positioned perfectly though here at the short par 4. Second shot up the hill with a short iron. Oh, bad mistake. Bad mistake. I've seen players chip it right over the green, right off the front from that position. And we move ahead to 17, the 441-yard par 4. Hardest hole on the golf course throughout this championship. Annika Sorenstam drove it left in the rough in the trees, had to pitch out. This is her third.
This hole has given her fits this week, Gary.
Yeah, she parred it yesterday, but had to make a 20-footer. There's a good shot, but it is a tough, tough day for Annika, +7. Over 13.
And she has played the par 5 so much better than anybody else. She already 3-putted one par 5 for par today, and she's -8 on the 5 pars for the week.
Yeah.
She's hit shot after shot on the 5 pars, putting for eagle. She eagled the 18th hole. It's just been a good week for her. It really has to be, in a lot of ways, it's still a very good week for her, right?
But it certainly is. She is finally healthy. And I think a lot of stress relieved from her after getting the Solheim Cup captaincy past her.
And if she would happen to make this eagle, you know, she's still got a chance.
Well, I couldn't agree more, guys. This is a tester, though, downhill, going to have some swing from right to left. She could get this in somehow.
Looks good.
Good on you, Alfie.
That is her second eagle of the championship for Helen Alfredsson.
Nice going, Helen.
That was not an easy putt. She is now in a tie for second, 3 shots behind Inbee Park, who's got a birdie attempt remaining here at 13.
That was a sweet second shot, wasn't it, out of that rough? Man, what a shot she hit.
I really didn't think that she could get it there, and she was waiting, and I'm like, I thought the lie was pretty darn thick, Johnny.
Did she get sort of a goer? Is that how she did?
She got overspin on it, and it just scooted up that hill.
But this is a very easy putt right here, isn't it? Just outside left?
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. You know, really, it's only the enormity of the situation that makes this putt difficult at all. But with her putting stroke, I wouldn't see this to be a problem. She's just very unflappable. You know, she just goes quietly about her business. Nothing really much ruffles her, Johnny.
It'd be sort of nice when you don't have perfect nerves, then you go over to the putting machine and it says, oh, by the way, your technique is perfect also.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt your confidence.
Look at that. Just right in the heart.
So Inbee Park with her first birdie of the championship at 13. And she now has stretched her lead to 4. Well, this is not exactly what we expected when the day began here. Dottie, first of all, let's talk about Paula Creamer and what's happened to her.
Well, I think it's what we've seen in the past major championships. She is just simply trying too hard. And when you try too hard, you're going to feel it in your weakest point. And technically and statistically, her weakest point is her putting. But Inbee Park, it's been exactly the opposite.
Well, Johnny, Inbee Park is just in her second year as a professional, but she's had so much experience in big championships as a junior. Does that help at this stage?
Yeah, she won the PGA Junior, won the US Junior when just turned 14. So, I mean, it's just phenomenal, the record she already has. And you have a tendency not to realize she's just 19 years old, but she really has a great future with that real slow, beautiful swing. I say under pressure, the people that swing the slowest are the toughest to beat, and her stroke is wonderful. So Paula Creamer, she got this shot right here, as you can see, going for that second shot on this hole. She needs to have the finish of her life being just, you know, how many behind is she now?
7 back. She's going to need to make a move and have some help.
She's due for something good to happen.
Well, that's a good-looking shot from 241.
That sort of day.
That might roll all the way down the hill. Watch this. Right, just lipping along that edge there, and that's just the way her day's gone. Going the wrong direction. Some days.
Stacy Lewis next.
She has 237.
5 shots back. This is definitely a birdie hole from here. Maybe even an eagle. Watch her backswings. Wonderful.
Come on, baby. Go.
Might have hit a hook. Is it going to hang in there?
That's a good-looking shot, too.
There it is. Will it stay
far
there?
enough?
Will it stay? Yes. Yes.
Stacy, run.
Yeah. That could roll all the way off the green and down right where the other ball went.
And Sorenstam for her par at the 17th.
Tell you what, she doesn't want to finish her U.S. Open run that she's had with 3 victories with around in the 80s, Gary.
This is the length that she has really struggled with this week. Well, good stroke there.
Well, she can birdie the last hole.
Yeah.
Shoot that 79.
Well, Annika was trying to become the third player to win 4 Women's Open championships, trying to join Betsy Rawls and Mickey Wright, but not to be. Really a shame too, Johnny, because Tita Green, she had played really, really well the first 3 days.
Yeah, she's just got to that point where the hole has shrunk up a little for her. It's just gone to the well a lot of times and delivered, but most players at a certain point, that hole does shrink up all the time.
And this a bogey putt for Christy Kerr. And Dottie, we touched on it a little bit earlier, didn't we? Very surprising how up and down Christy Kerr has been this week.
Yeah, she's normally a lot like Annika, a point A to point B sort of player. She's made some questionable, I think, choices off tees and made some really surprising swings when she's normally very, very good.
She can flat putt.
Yeah, wonderful stroke. That for a bogey drops her back to even par for the championship.
Yeah, you could put a microphone on her and she'd entertain us, I'll tell you that.
Back to 14.
This was just moments ago in Kyung Kim for a birdie at the par 3, trying to get to 5 under. Good effort there. Wonderful tee shot at the short par 3 today, playing just 167. And back on the tee will be Helen Alfredson.
In this hole today, playing 167 downwind and from the left and downhill. She and her caddy Tom Boyd trying to figure out exactly where the wind is coming from.
Well, you sort of got a hook, sliced wind with a hook hole location.
Yeah, it's a very difficult hole location, Johnny, isn't it? It's only 4 over that left side of the green.
Obviously, if you could play it draw, that's the shot. The whole location's right there. If you shape a shot like that, that would be the one, and flatten out at the end.
The key also, Johnny, that we've seen is you've got to get the ball up in the air here, because the low shots that are coming in there are not holding.
Yeah, she doesn't hit them too low, I know that.
And Paula Kramer's hitting her 3rd shot over at 13 now, and Helen's waiting.
That'll give you an idea how upslopey that is, like 15, 18 feet up there.
Pretty good, but above the hole. Now back to Alfredson. There you can see her right behind the 13th green, old style Donald Ross course, where so many of the tees are very close to the preceding greens.
Easy to walk this course, isn't it?
Yeah, the entire piece of property isn't all that big. It's set up for walking, certainly.
And what a great piece of property. All these little humps and bumps, and it's wonderful.
Going with a 7-iron.
See how she can respond to that eagle. So going out to the right.
You're right.
Oh, it's a good looking golf shot.
Just a little right. Very smart shot.
Over to 16.
Where Teresa Liu has this downhill putt for a par. Remember her 2nd shot over the green. Chip to this point. Very delicate. Oh.
Look good all the way.
Yeah, that was a good putt, but that's back-to-back bogeys. That will drop her to 3 under par.
This is at 15. Angela Park for a birdie, trying to get to -6. Long attempt.
Slow attempt for these greens, straight up that hill. So she's going to have a tough 2-putt.
Inbee Park at 14.
Going with the 6-iron here.
Right over the top of the flag.
Wrong club selection there. That was a missed club.
So the leader in a little bit of trouble at 14. She'll have a little pitch shot down the hill trying to save her par. Is she on her way to victory? We'll find out. Welcome back to the U.S. Women's Open final round. While we were away, this was Stacey Lewis for eagle at 13. Pretty good pace, but missed it wide right. Over at 14, Inbee Park, the leader, 2nd shot.
It's a quick one down that hill.
There's a very thick lie, a lot of grass between her and the ball, her golf club and the ball, and that was extremely well judged.
Yes, it was, Jane. Just 4.5, maybe 5 feet for a par.
She's playing like a teenage champion, I'll tell you that.
Back at the 13th, you'll remember Paula Creamer played her third shot above the hole, this for birdie. This was moments ago also. She hit it? No. Nothing going right for Paula at this stage. Stacey Lewis live now for a birdie.
There you go, Stacey.
A much needed birdie. She gets back to 4 over for the day. Four shots behind. It's a 4-way tie for second right now. At 14, Helen Alfredson for a 2.
And she does much better with this length putt than the short one, so she could find a way to sneak this in, break her from right to left.
That was pretty smooth, but too smooth.
Well, a little bit of a deceleration there at the end, Johnny, but not bad.
That's a good 3. Puts the pressure on Inbee.
Moments ago at 15, you'll remember Angela Park left her birdie attempt way short. This was for a par.
Give it a wrap. Yeah.
One bad putt, one good putt.
You always want the better putt to be the second one.
You only need one really good one.
And Jane, back here at 14, do you have a sense that Inbee Park knows where she stands relative to the field?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't really noticed her looking at the board, but I think she kind of has just an innate sense that she's ahead, and I don't think either way it really would affect her. She's just going about her business, being very methodical and unflappable at the moment. This putt's about 4.5, maybe 5 feet. Just a little bit of break from left to right.
Well, this is the time of day when really takes the nerves to finish it out. 18 putts and 13 holes for her today. That's great putting. Oh, slam-a-jamma.
Now, she talked about her philosophy for the week being to use her tools, her patience, her heart, and despite her young age, her experience.
Yeah, she has great nerves. I was very impressed with how much hit she put into that. That could have spun out on the top side, but it went in. Things are going well for her.
Back up at the tee, Stacey Lewis will have the honor. Roger.
And wind blowing from left to right here. This is a cute little hole location. Just over the edge of that bunker.
Lewis has had mixed results here this week. She has made a 2, a 3, and a 4 at this hole.
Well, what are you saying? Is it going to be a 1 or a 5?
I think she'd rather have the 1 than the 5.
Well, I was a little surprised she didn't get the eagle putt to the hole. I know it was a slow putt last hole, but you'd think she'd really give that one a rip. That was kind of like her one great chance to kind of try to get back in it.
Well, at least she made birdie, Roger. That's a start anyway, to have maybe a great finish for her. She's 5 under, and of course Inbee is 9 under.
She's got 5-iron out here.
Just love her backswing. She is so loaded at the top, and the club is so high for leverage.
Her teacher actually flew in this morning, Johnny, with a few of her family members.
Up at the 18th, the home hole, Annika Sorenstam, third shot.
Obviously was in trouble off the tee. This much club, huh, Dottie?
Well, it's a hole, too, that's been very disappointing for her after having such a reasonable eagle attempt on Friday afternoon from 3.5 feet. It would be ironic
Look
that
at
she
this.
makes this
Look
one.
at this. It's in.
It's in. Have to putt.
That's the way to finish it off.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that was the last shot that Annika Sorenstam ever hits in a U.S. Open, she will never, ever forget it.
She says, now that's ironic. Listen to this. Wow. You talk about destiny.
I needed that to break, Katie.
What do you say? Are you kidding?
Boy, for those people who don't believe in fate, You better think again after watching that.
Well, how many great iron shots has she hit over her career? Just striped at the hole. That thing was 10 feet from the hole, and it was in. There was no doubt about it.
Longtime caddy Terry McNamara there.
Every player on the course heard that.
What a moment.
Let's take a look at this shot again if we can.
What a moment, what a career.
Here it is, folks. Just laid it up short of the water. Mid-iron to this green. Nice little high straight one, lands perfectly.
Well, there are about 25,000 people out here on the grounds today, but in 10 years, you'll probably have 250,000
Yeah,
saying they were here.
Exactly.
Oh, man, what a way to exit the U.S. Women's Open for Annika.
Christy Kerr now with the unenviable task of having to follow that shot.
Well, you can say you were right there. That's a good spot to be. You'd have liked to have been there, huh, Dottie?
You know, I played with Pat Bradley the day she got into the Hall of Fame. And I still get goosebumps when I think about that, and I'm sure Christy will when she thinks about this.
So Christy Kerr with a foot and a half for her par. Last two U.S. Women's Open champions in this pairing, Annika and Christy. Round of 75 today for Christy Kerr.
Her fiance, Mike McGee.
I don't give up.
That's her teacher, Henry Rice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a 5-star wowzer right there.
You know, so much has been made about her chasing Tiger Woods in the major championship race, but boy, she just caught him for drama right there. Second shot for Inbee Park, the leader at 15.
And Mark, that was from 112 yards uphill into the breeze.
Oh man, what a shot. Inbee is on fire right now.
Totally under control, just hitting those little sawed-off follow-through shots.
Big key for her is to maintain a 3/4 backswing and to control it on the way through. She has done a marvelous job.
But she hits the slowest punch shot I have ever seen, and it's really a good one to copy.
Moments ago, this was Stacey Lewis for a birdie at 14.
Wow.
What a difference a day has made for her on the green. She had just 23 putts yesterday.
Well, it doesn't help that Paula Creamer is having a terrible day also, because sometimes one player will pull down the other player and vice versa.
Over at 16, this is Angela Park for a par. Drove it way to the right, unable to reach the green in 2. And that's going to drop her to 4 under par.
This is getting awfully comfortable for Inbee Park.
Yes, it is. No one really mounting any kind of a challenge. So we go back to 14.
And this is just about a must make for Stacey Lewis. Yes. Good 2-putt for Lewis. She stays at -5. Now Helen Alfredson. Ball just tracks right of the coin of Inbee Park, who's in there very close for her birdie. Inbee with a chance to get to double digits under par in a U.S. Open, and that is a magical number. This is just her 3rd U.S. Open, Johnny. She missed the cut in the first one, but last year showed some real signs, finishing in a tie for 4th there at Pine Needles.
She just seems to have the whole package, especially mentally. It's just so smooth the way she goes about her work. Even bogeys, birdies, just you can't hardly tell the difference.
And Johnny, this putt doesn't really look that difficult. It should have a little bit of left to right in it, but back uphill. She and her caddy Brad Beecher just studying the line. And while I have a second, guys, that roar from 18 just brought goosebumps to my arms. That was just an amazing moment.
It's a long roar, right?
It was huge.
I mean, she had the longest walk-up roar. I mean, you just don't see that. This putt, folks, if this goes in, she'll be just the 8th player in U.S. Women's Open history to reach double digits under par. So this is a great performance.
She's played some flawless golf. And she's just ranked 4th in putting average on the LPGA this year, 28.64 putts, Johnny.
19 years old.
No.
It's the first time she wasn't completely settled in and comfortable. Backed off it and stood up. You see her hips wiggle.
It'd be interesting to know if somebody could ask the question, when did you see the leaderboard, or did you know how you stood? Possibly she even knows that being 10 under is just rare territory. But still, good, well-played hole. That's, you know, she's in a position that pars are fantastic.
But Johnny, that's one of the great things about this finish at Interlachen. That 17th hole is so tough, and then you can make a 3 at 18. So there is the possibility of a big swing in these last 3 holes. Alfredson safely in. And while they head over to the 16th tee, time to take just another look at an incredible shot. Perhaps Annika Sorenstam's last ever in a U.S. Open. Inbee Park may be marching to the U.S. Open Championship, but the spotlight is on that lady right now. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the future sites in the next few years for the U.S. Women's Open. Saucon Valley Country Club in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania next year, then back to Oakmont in July of 2010, and then to the Broadmoor in 2011. And if you're interested in attending the U.S. Open next year at Saucon Valley, all you have to do is call 610-814-6104 or log on to 2009USWomen'sOpen.com. To 16.
And Helen Alfredson on the tee, 360-yard par 4, playing back into the wind. You can see the flags up there into and from the left.
And it's pretty gusty right now too, Gary. Helen's backed off a couple of times trying to get herself settled.
Well, Jane, this hole was the only par 4 playing under par coming into this final round on this Interlachen course, but it is much different today. Stroke average almost a quarter of a stroke over par.
Strong slice wind.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely the key factor. Helen going with the 3-wood. And this one's drifting with the breeze.
I missed it right yesterday.
Yeah, it's not good down that right side. 2 huge trees.
And she's definitely going to be blocked out. And Dottie, Inbee Park working with Chong Pak on the west coast, and a friend of yours, I believe, on the east coast.
Yeah, a guy that I went to school with at Furman by the name of Joe Hallett, and they talked this morning. Here's both of her teachers, and they both told her that, you know, you've got the heart of a kid, the mind of a champion, and the patience of a priest. I'm starting to believe it.
It's quite the combo.
On this one heading down the left side, just drifting slightly back. I went with the driver.
Yeah.
And that's in the fairway.
Well
Perfect.
positioned right at the top of the hill. Nice flat lie.
She's the only player in the final 9 twosomes in Inbee Park to be under par today. She's -2 for the day.
Back at 15.
Stacy Lewis ready for her second. 128 uphill and on a bit of an uphill slope and playing back into the wind. Also coming a little bit from the right. Makes it kind of tough to get it back there.
Well, I'll say with that hook wind, there's a lot of hook in that wind.
Just going left of the hole.
And just into the intermediate rough. Shouldn't be too hard a shot. Inbee Park has got herself a 4-shot lead as she marches down the 16th hole. But the story of the moment right now, Annika Sorenstam with a 3 at 18. And we will talk with Annika when we come back.
And welcome back. We're at the 16th. This is I.K. Kim for a birdie 3. Left to right breaking putt. Just to get her to 5 under par. Yes. Good birdie. Second shot from out of the right rough. And she moves into a tie for second. Just 4 off the lead. And
over at 15 while we were away, this was Paula Creamer's 3rd shot.
Missed the green here right yesterday as well and was able to save par.
Just too many predicaments like that today, Dottie, to do any good at all.
Really, from the second hole, made that long putt to save par at the first and a quick double at 2.
Back over to 16.
And looks like Helen's going to play first here, Jane.
Helen is going to play. Inbee had to use the restroom, so Alfie decided she'd give her the courtesy of settling in. So 141 yards, but definitely some tree trouble. Going to have to keep it kind of low here. The hole's located 15 on and 4 from the left, just over that very, very steep ridge.
And a very narrow opening, too, at the front of the green. Just some 10 or 12 yards wide between the bunkers. Well, now she has decided to wait for Inbee, I guess.
We've had a couple of those today. Now, Inbee Park, 143.
Sounds like a good strike on the ball.
Good strike, just slightly left of the flag, Johnny.
Tempo hasn't changed all day, Gary.
No, it has been a thing of beauty, and that is tough to do under this kind of pressure. Back at 15.
Overnight leader Stacy Lewis, third shot at the par 4. Big breaker to the right. It all seemed so easy yesterday. Back to 16.
And Alfredson having a hard time getting settled with this one, Jane.
Yeah, she's had a few shots like that so far today, Gary. She tends to be a little fidgety, and under extreme pressure like this gets even more so. Lots of moving parts to Helen's golf game.
She's not known for low punch shots, so she's got to hit one here.
Yeah, she sure does. Pretty thick lie as well. Not a very big gap to run it up.
She's making me nervous just watching this. What a big moment for her.
And then
Well, that's going to find the front left green side bunker. It's doable from there, though. She has a good lie. It's not that hard a shot. So go back to 15.
Paula Creamer for par. And a good save there for Creamer. But it's Inbee Park that still retains a 4-shot lead. And we welcome to the 18th tower a smiling Annika Sorenstam. That was your 1026th hole ever in U.S. Open competition. Is there one you'll remember more than that?
I don't think so. I mean, I was hoping for memories this week. It was a little different type of memory, but you know, it's been a wonderful week, and I've always loved this championship, and you know, to finish like that was just that will stay in my mind forever.
It was a tough week for the putter with the putter for you, but phenomenal ball striking. What do you think? What do you think's up with that?
It's just golf. It really is golf. I mean, throughout my career, I've had some moments where I'm striking it beautifully, and then I've had some moments where you make everything. It's just, it's a crazy game. I mean, it just changes every day. But you know, I'm very, very happy the way I'm playing. I'm hitting a ball just the way I want it. This just didn't happen this week, and you know, but the year has been great, and I have a few more tournaments, so maybe I can change it around and finish really, really high.
Annika, speaking of crazy, describe in your own words that third shot at 18.
Well, I missed my tee shot on the right and then just chipped it out, and here I am with a 6-iron. It's got 199, and you know, the wind is a little helping right to left, and you know, I was just hoping to get it to the front and you know, make birdie, and actually it's the first time I'm seeing it.
It looked pretty good, didn't it?
It did. I couldn't see it from the fairway. So.
What was going through your mind at this point? You know it's gone in.
Yeah, you said it was quite ironic, right, when it went in.
Yeah, it was so ironic. I mean, here I didn't want to shoot 80 or above, and you know, to hold a shot from 200 yards, that's kind of the last thing you think about. But obviously, I take it, and I mean, the crowd was just amazing. The cheers, you know, the 200 yards that I walked up there, it was so loud. It was so much fun.
Well, Inbee Park has a chance to do something you did, making your first win a major championship. Take us back to the Broadmoor in '95 with 2.5 holes to go the way Inbee has. What was going through your mind, or what is she going to experience?
Well, it's obviously a moment where you're very, very nervous, and you just really want to get the round in. And I remember I just try to hit the fairway. I just try to hit the green and just kind of believe in yourself and not try to think too far ahead. And you know, she's obviously playing some great golf today because you know, the conditions are very, very hard.
She seems to have a very similar demeanor to you in that you can't hardly tell what she's doing out there. It's so the bogeys, the birdies, you can't tell too much difference, and her tempo is so smooth and slow with every club. It's pretty impressive. I always think that the players that swing the smoothest and slowest are best when it's a lot of pressure, and she's handling this pressure perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's you know, that's a tricky shot there. The wind is blowing hard left to right, and you know, superb distance control.
What's this do, Annika? A little hook?
That's what I thought. When I was up there, it actually kind of goes the other way around.
At the hole, it flattens out, doesn't it? But that's what you want in pars when you got a 4-shot lead, don't you?
So Inbee Park with a par there. And Annika, now that your U.S. Open career is apparently over, when you look back on the Women's Open, what What do you remember most about that as a championship?
I just, you know, I would think the courses that we played through the years, the conditions, the ultimate test. For me, it's a lot of memories too. I mean, it's, you know, I've had 3-footers at home as a little girl to pretend they would be for the U.S. Open. You know, I've played in 15, but in my mind, I probably played in 20, 25. So, you know, I'm going to look back at this week especially and just take a lot from it.
Is there a chance that Annika Sorenstam might play 3, 4, 5 tournaments at some point a year just to keep your hand in it?
I'm not really sure. I mean, you know, I am stepping away for sure by the end of the year. And, you know, if I come back in a few years, it will definitely be the Open.
You've always been a very steely competitor. Has the emotion of this sort of goodbye, at least for a while, been a little more than you anticipated? It's been a total roller coaster emotionally for me. I mean, I've had tears, I've had laughs, I've had, you know, I've been angry, I've been, you name it, I've had every feeling this week. It's just, I think the Open brings it out of me. And, you know, to finish like this is obviously, you know, wonderful. But, you know, when I look back at this week, I wish I would have done a few things differently.
Well, Annika, you can step away, but don't go too far away.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Moments ago, this was Stacy Lewis at 15 for par. So another bogey for Lewis.
Sort of getting quicker and quicker in her demeanor and walk. She wanted to win. She says, I'm here to win this golf championship.
Not happy.
No, she's a competitor.
This also a moment ago. Ellen Alfredson for her par at 16 after the bunker shot. Yep. We knew that was going to be the club, Dottie, that was either going to win her the U.S. Open or lose it.
Yeah, we got an early glimpse at the third, and it hasn't. She shook a couple of in, but badly kind of sensed it was going to come.
I'll tell you what, she's hung in there, though, to be in the top 3 or 4 in this championship. She'd have taken that before she teed off on Thursday, I would imagine.
Well, I've got to think so, John. Been a long time since she's been in contention in a major championship.
She needled me and all the guys, all of us on NBC for mentioning that she was 43 yesterday.
And that is Inbee Park's drive off the tee at the 441-yard par 4 17th. And Jane, another beauty right down the middle.
And I talked to her caddy on the way back from off the green, and I said, does she know where she stands? And he said, yep.
Well, where she stands is atop the leaderboard at 9 under par, now 4 shots clear of just one player. Inbee Park trying to become the youngest ever winner of a U.S. Women's Open Championship. Can she do it? Stay with us.
How long is our break, Kath? 1:30. Oops. Okay.
Welcome back to the 63rd United States Women's Open Championship from the Interlachen Country Club, Edina, Minnesota. The final round is nearing the end. Inbee Park, the 19-year-old, has a 4-shot lead. She is playing the 17th hole, and we will go out there.
Well, she has hit just a wonderful tee shot on this very difficult par 4, averaging over 4.5 strokes. And on the same hole, the lady that is in second place right now, IK Kim, has this 3rd shot. Very awkward stance. Drove it the fairway, pulled her second to here.
Tough to get power out of that stance.
So,
Inbee Park looked like her facial expression that she was starting to realize what is actually happening to her.
So now IK Kim's 4th shot. And this not an easy one, John. It's a long bunker shot.
Yeah, the only way she could get this to the hole is to almost hit it real close to the ball. Otherwise, it's going to come out short.
Yep, that's exactly what it does. So that putt left for a bogey 5.
This hole gets a lot of players.
Yes, it does. Go back to 16. Stacey Lewis has a chance for a birdie, Raj.
Well, it does, but a 30-footer downhill here should move from right to left.
Yeah, it's been a tough putt for the players to read, moving right to left early, and then as it gets down near the hole, actually tries to straighten out a little bit. Most have missed the hole to the right.
Well, there's another one.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about. It just kind of freezes out, doesn't it?
It's amazing how every player seems to see the same thing.
It's been a tough day for you, Roger. This group's 10 over par, 11 over.
Hadn't been a lot of happiness here. What can I tell you?
You know, a lot of people pulling for this final twosome to have a chance, one of them, to win the United States Women's Open, being Americans, but it's just not happening.
All right, Creamer down the hill, another speedy one.
This looks to be on a good line here.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was going to say, finally a smile, Johnny. It's been a long time. Birdie moves her to 3 under par. And up ahead at 17, Mi-Yoon Kim has this putt for a par. IK Kim was unable to make the bogey putt.
She's a good putter. Got a real simple stroke. A little pause.
Yeah, always low.
Sort of cut across that one, though.
So bogey for Mi-Yoon Kim. Drops her to 3 under. And back in the fairway.
Not totally necessary to hit this shot, is it? She could, you know, this is, but fairway wood for her is probably like no problem accuracy-wise.
She could land this ball 20 yards short, and with that opening and it being firm, no problem.
This one heading left, the bunker, Dottie.
That's up and around the face of that bunker, very similar to where we just saw IK Kim. So
very close
not a good spot.
It's from 204 yards.
Ahead to 18.
Second shot for Angela Park at the par 5. It has been an up and down championship for her.
Hit it thinly. Hit it thinly. Well, it keeps skipping.
Tried to do a Bobby Jones, who skipped it across that lake back in 1930, but didn't have quite that karma.
All right, Alfredson at 17.
And Gary, this is from 193, 172 front, 21 paces on the right side. A lot of wind in the player's face right now from right to left slightly as well. There's a 4-iron. That's hit very solidly, heading at the middle of the green.
Needs a bounce, needs to chase up, and that will catch the little false edge and come back. Just didn't quite get the forward bounce she was looking for. And we go back to 16. This just a moment ago. Stacey Lewis for her par to remain at 4 under. Okay. Well, Inbee Park marches up the 17th and 71st hole of this championship with a 5-shot lead over 3 players. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Inbee Park's 3rd shot at the 17th. Difficult bunker shot. OB over the green.
Good time to kind of chunk and trundle one out of there, Gary.
Just hit it a little bit heavy, let it release a little bit. Okay. Very smartly done. At 18.
Angela Park, it looks like maybe could get a club on that ball. We saw it skip a couple of times. It's definitely in the hazard still.
Darn near pulled it off. Maybe it was on that Bobby Jones lily pad they talked about.
Back at 17, Alfredsson's third.
And opting to go with the putter here, Gary, from about 8 feet off the front of the green. Steep upslope all the way to the hole.
Oh, bite.
Yeah, that's pretty well judged.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was very nicely done. Up at 18.
And the low amateur in this championship, Maria Jose Uribe at -1.
Tough spot.
How good is that, Johnny?
That was very good. That was really a tough shot. No green to work with going away.
And back at 17, Inbee Park will be putting for her par.
It's darn near par 5 today, isn't it?
Yeah, Johnny, it is. Stroke average just under 4.6. So, yeah, tough hole. Tough hole.
I was starting to say when she was over the ball, you know, she doesn't need to hit a fairway metal from there. She could have maybe just chased something to the front, take out any terrible situation that could happen with the fairway wood. But she's so good with it, I just didn't say it.
Johnny, I kind of thought the same thing. I thought she might have laid up to avoid having any disaster in the bunkers.
Very commercial there. That's fine.
I forget that the women in this
Johnny,
championship hit their fairway with
straighter than we hit 7-irons. All right, so a dropped shot at 17. The lead 4. Up at 18.
And Maria Jose Uribe for a birdie 4 at the par 5.
If this goes in, folks, you want to see a player that very much like Severiano Ballesteros when he was young. Fantastic gestures when good things happen.
And Johnny, with 2 putts, Uribe will be just the second amateur ever to finish 72 holes under par in this championship.
The other was at Grace Park in 1999 when Julie Inkster won.
Doesn't need 2, just 1. Tremendous performance by the amateur champion. Round of 75 today, -2 in all. Back to 17.
And Alfredsson for her par to remain in that share of second. All right. Well done. Creamer's second shot at 17, Raj.
Yes, from 210, going a little left of the hole, trying to cut toward it. Good hop.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
One thing you know for sure, Gary, she's never going to give up.
No, she is a fighter. Up at 18.
Angela Park for a par 5. It's a good one. She was everywhere on this hole.
A little side of eventful.
She was the 36-hole leader as we go back to 17.
And Stacy Lewis getting ready with her second shot.
195 left for hers. Tree overhanging down the left-hand side. Not an issue, but kind of in the sight line here.
Turn ball. Turn over.
This ball starts right, trying to get it to draw. It's coming back some. Wow, great shot.
Yeah, 2 good shots. 2 of the best shots we've seen all day. And there's a little smile from Stacy. Well, she was the 3rd round leader of this championship. Tall order trying to win a major in your very first event as a professional. And got off to a horrible start with a double bogey 7 at the second. Bogeys at 8 and 9 out in 40. But I agree with you, Johnny. I think we'll be hearing plenty more from this young lady.
Yeah, I just love the fire that's in her belly.
Great perspective, too, after the surgery for the scoliosis and the rod in her back. She didn't even know she'd ever be able to play golf again. Got a great Great perspective in the game. Up at 18.
Helen Alfredson on the tee at the par 5. Big hole for Helen. She currently is in a tie for second.
And Mark, they have to wait as the group in front of them is one more player left to play in the fairway. But this is a great opportunity for Helen to make an eagle.
Well, Jane, she was just 108th on the LPGA money list last year. She played just 11 events. So this could be a big hole for her. This is Mi Yoon Kim's third shot.
A little downslope.
Not that far from where Annika holed it out.
Yeah, going with the lofted fairway wood. Just sort of scooting it up there.
She's pretty much automatic, Dottie, with those clubs, isn't she?
Incredibly automatic. And, you know, she's kind of a descending blow. Often takes a divot with these hybrids and fairway woods, but she is so efficient at it.
Now back at the tee, Helen Alfredson. There you can see how they stand.
It's probably the most important hole she'll play. Maybe, who knows, the rest of her career right here. Maybe can steal second all by herself.
It could be a re-kickstart for Helen Alfredson.
Could be. She's definitely hit the greens in regulation. She was second in that category and third for the year. So she's got that part. If you could somehow tame the putter a little bit.
And this hole playing downwind and from the right at the moment. 285 run through the fairway to the water hazard.
You want to hit it right here. If there's water to the right, players can't reach, but
She's got a good high ball flight, so she can definitely carry those trees.
Right.
This one's heading toward the fairway bunker.
She did make an eagle here in the first round.
She's played the par 5s better than anyone, definitely in the field. Helen just coming off an eagle really in the last 5. She's 10 under for those holes she's played for par 5s.
Well, Inbee has yet to birdie this hole so far this week.
Just wants to hit a good drive. Take all the suspense out of this.
And this heading down the right side. I don't know if it's going to carry those trees.
How about perfection?
It does, Jane. This creeps into the intermediate rough, but should be no problem.
Yeah, that's a good lie. Maybe better than being in the fairway sitting up.
Back to 17.
And Paula Creamer for a birdie 3. Just 4 birdies here all day long.
She could sneak into second place with this.
Oh, firm enough? No.
Beautiful view down to the 17th green.
It's been a beautiful day of weather, huh, Gary?
Yeah, it really has. Weather's been nice. Course has played tough, though. Stacey Lewis for birdie.
She doesn't come up too short too often, but she did there. Didn't have much of a backswing.
Inbee Park striding down the 18th fairway with a 4-shot lead in the U.S. Women's Open. We'll be right back.
She'll go for it. There's no problem. I was looking for it back more to the right.
What's that, Crafty?
She should be fine.
Hey, David.
Is she going to hit
No, I don't think so.
Hey,
Yeah.
Might see him.
I mean, she's
Hey, David.
not.
Yeah. Well, could happen on 18.
David B. has left the building.
David B. has left the building.
He wants to catch flight. He's heading off in the cot.
Feeling it?
That's a
No, Lewis could make it.
That's a heck of a decision she has, really.
Lewis could make it at 17. Oh, she did.
Inbee's only got
Lewis
211
can't make
to
it
the
at
hole.
17.
She can if we give her another try. I bet you get the next one to the hole.
Hey guys, Inbee's only got 211 to the hole, dead downwind.
That's
Hello.
easy shot for her.
Yeah.
That's a little hybrid.
Then the ball's sitting
that's a
up
piece
too.
of cake. Oh, yeah.
10 cup.
No problemo.
How about a little Lorena here?
I don't think so.
A little drop kicker in the lake, about 3 of them in a row. Just kidding.
What?
Welcome back at the 18th. Mi-Yoon Kim for a birdie, trying to get into a temporary tie for second at -4.
It's a lot flatter up there than it appears. Players are overreading that putt. You can see it. Look at it go now, though.
Yeah, that just carried too much speed, period.
That is Inbee Park waiting out in the intermediate rough.
Don't think, Mark, you can overestimate the impact of a player like Inbee Park with what she saw 10 years ago with Seri Pak winning 2 major championships. She literally watched it with her dad and picked up a club 2 days later.
Yeah. One interesting thing, there were a record 28 teenagers in this Women's Open this week, and one of them is going to win this championship without a tin cup here.
She is the oldest of 2 girls. Her sister In-Ah in high school, just finishing high school in Las Vegas.
And this, of course, will be the first time a teenager will have won the United States Women's Open.
There's a good look at champions by age at the Women's Open. 18 players between the age of 20 and 24 have won this championship, but nobody younger yet. And Inbee enjoying the moment out there. Mi-Yoon Kim trying to make her par up at the green.
The largest purse in women's golf, so every one of these putts is huge for these women.
Good stroke.
Round of 75. That's been a very popular score today. In fact, there have been 90 rounds under par in this championship, but just 7 today.
Well, she's, you know, it's a great tournament for her, 3 under. But Inbee right here, this is really a green light shot. I'll just finish this off.
IK Kim has an attempt for birdie. Played a very nice 3rd shot into here. So you think Inbee Park's is a green light? You don't think it would be maybe a yellow caution?
Not really,
careful?
because it's a perfect lie. It's downwind. It's probably a huge target for her. She's just hitting those fairway metals to much smaller hole location. It's an easy hole location, so she doesn't have to even go at it. So I really believe she just knock it right on the green.
Again, In Kyung, who defeated Inbee in the finals of one of those girls' juniors that Inbee had such success in.
Well, she's taking her time on this one, I can tell you.
Paid off, though. That was her 20th birdie of the week. And she moves into a tie for second.
Jane, you're right there.
Yes, indeed, Johnny. As you said, it is a good line, that intermediate cut, 211 yards. Caddy signal me, this is a 5-wood. Dead downwind, maybe slightly from the right. And with that left-hand hole location, you're right. I would anticipate nothing but a good result here.
Got plenty to get it there.
Just want to make good contact to bring that blue stuff out of play.
Nice and high, headed to the left side of the green.
Well, she's got to be feeling pretty good right now. We have to ask her if we can. When did you realize you had a 4 or a 5-shot lead? I mean, what hole did you start paying attention? Because I'm not sure how it's hitting her yet.
Now Helen Alfredson, 203 yards. This is her 22-degree rescue. A little bit more crosswind for Helen from this angle. An eagle would go a long way
Well, she eagled the last par 5, the 13th. Lapped the field on the 5 bars.
Good contact here.
A little bit left.
The wind did. She makes it so easy on our audio guys.
And the commentators, Dottie.
Yeah, it looks like she could pull a muscle, though, talking to her ball, the way she does that gyration.
She makes Arnold Palmer's old follow through look very stoic. I mean, gee, she's bending and everything else.
And Johnny, I asked her caddy Brad when she realized she had such a big lead, and he said she came back from the bathroom on 16.
Well, what a great moment that must be for her, walking up to the 18th green, knowing that the championship is hers. Back at the tee, Paula Creamer now. And she will challenge for the U.S. Open again.
Also hit her just right of that crane.
Oh, this ball going left.
Not where you want it, I don't think. Might be in that bunker.
Inbee Park. It was a full 6 years ago that she won the U.S. Junior, and now 6 years later, apparently on her way to the U.S. Open title.
It was really this championship a year ago, Mark, that turned around a kind of a lackluster start to her rookie year.
Well, to quote Jackie Gleason, how sweet it is. There's no better feeling. You got a big lead. You're already by the edge of the green. You've taken all the weird things that could happen and nuked them, and you can just enjoy it. You can see the look on her face. It's a little bit relieved, you know. She knows it's pretty much done.
Both her mom and dad are here this week.
And how big is this back home in Korea for her? I mean,
Well, she's been in America for a very long time, but this is a very, very big deal in Korea. She goes home to Korea in the off season.
women's golf in Korea is bigger than the men's golf in Korea. Isn't that true?
It is.
More popular. And it's paying off, you know. It's just so many good players coming from Korea. Beautiful technique. Every shot, maybe the bunker shots could be a little crisper, but has such beautiful tempo. That's a beauty.
Another beauty.
That is a total beauty.
And that's a nice putt to have to win your first major championship, and in particular the U.S. Women's Open.
She's not celebrating yet, but it's starting to get pretty fun.
Inbee's family moved to America in 2001, and it was the very next year that she won the U.S. Girls Junior. That was just 3 years after she took up the game. She became the best junior golfer. Helen Alfredson with a very important putt financially for her.
Well, just personally too, to finish second in the Women's Open, that's fantastic.
That's a good effort there for Helen. Hard to be real aggressive with that one.
You're just wearing that lower lip out. A little nervous tension.
This is not Helen's favorite length.
Well, the enormity of the moment must be starting to sink in for Inbee Park. good 4. Nice finish for Helen. -5. Many people thought that score would be good enough to win this championship at the beginning of the week, but not with Inbee Park in the field. There it is. At the age of 19, Inbee Park, the only player with all 4 rounds under par in this championship. .283, -9, and somewhere Dottie Sayri-Pak must be smiling.
She should be very proud. And so many of her fellow countrywomen. This has become a bit of a tradition on the LPGA Tour. And she's not even old enough to have any of that.
Inbee Park is the winner of the 63rd U.S. Women's Open. She is only the 3rd international player to win 2 different USGA championships, joining Gary Player and Marlene Street. What a performance by Inbee Park. Welcome back to the U.S. Women's Open. Stacey Lewis and Paula Creamer still playing the 72nd hole, but neither can catch Inbee Park. This now Stacey Lewis' second shot. Roger?
213 to the hole, 203 to the front.
Definitely an eagle is a possibility with a good one.
It's turning a little bit left.
Oh, that is not a very good spot in the bunker.
Terrible bounce.
And just before Stacey played, this was Paula Creamer's 3rd shot. She had driven the ball into the fairway bunker, laid it out to here.
Gonna lay it out again, no? Good shot.
Forward.
Yeah, wasn't sure she could reach from there, but that's a beauty. That's going right at the flag.
And it's been a tough day for Paula Creamer, but don't be surprised if at Saucon Valley she's right back in it. That 7 at the second was her undoing. She had a second double at number 9 when she hit the ball over the green into a horrendous spot.
Well, she will have a chance to get her first major in just about 5 weeks.
And while we have a second, let's go down to Jennifer Mills.
Thank you very much. I'm here with Maria Jose Uribe, who finishes as the low amateur, only 18 years old. This is her 3rd U.S. Open, 2 under par. I told you a moment ago, you joined Grace Park as the only 2 players to ever finish as amateurs under par at the Women's Open. That's terrific.
I know, that's a great honor to be at the side of Grace Park, a great player too, and just a confidence boost for my game.
You've opted to not defend at the Women's Amateur, which you won last year, and you will next go to
the British Open. It's a good experience, and I guess it's going to get to my game and stuff, so I'm looking forward for it.
Well, it was an exciting week. Congratulations. You've got a gold medal to go pick up.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to 18.
And a nice applause for the final pair coming up the hill here. Stacey Lewis is not going to believe what her lie is like in that bunker.
What a terrible bounce she got. Would that ricochet backwards?
It did. She needed just another 4 or 5 feet and would have gotten it on the back left part of the green.
Yeah, now she's put it in a spot that you couldn't even put it in.
She's climbing downward into the bunker. My gosh.
The lie is bad. The stance is bad. The slope's going to be a problem.
That is not fair, is it? I mean, that's just...
Roger, did she have any chance from there?
I don't think so. I mean, this is the kind you could almost whiff. I mean, the stance is ridiculous. I mean, it's just absolutely the wrong situation for what she'd need to do right now.
Well, she has a degree from Arkansas in accounting and finance, and when this day's over, she's going to go to work and look at that and see that was a really bad bounce.
Yeah, I'll say that. She's got to really stay down on this. She has a that metal rod in her back from her scoliosis operation, that if there was going to be a shot that would be tough to pull off for her, this is probably it. This is hard for anyone. Would it hit the corner of the bunker right on the dirt, Roger, and just ricochet straight left up the hill?
Well, I couldn't tell from the fairway,
Can you
but
see the
I was
line?
surprised that it was over on this side of the bunker. Yeah, it just shot in almost directly left.
That's what I mean. You could see the path of the ball probably if you look closely, that how it got there. I think she's doing it the right way now. Real early set. Try to take it back outside and swing outside that sand and cut across it.
I heard her dad talk about playing as far left as she can. Got a lot of golf ball.
That's the one shot you want to bow down to. And when you go into it, you have to bow down to get down to it. That's too bad.
Inbee Park obliging some of the volunteers back there in the scoring area. And these couple minutes that she has to wait before she gets her hands on that trophy are going to be a long few minutes for her. Well, Stacy Lewis still away, Roger?
Oh, yes, by a substantial margin. Yeah, kind of, I know, a huge disappointment for her today, but I just still think she has such a bright future, Johnny. She's handled the day well. I'm sure it's a big learning experience for her, but she has a lot of talent, this young lady.
She's trying to be the first player to get her LPGA Tour card via sponsor exemption. She will play the next 2 weeks, but these earnings this week, and it could be as much if she holds this out, a tie for second, do not count by LPGA rules.
So who made up that rule?
No further questions.
No further comments.
It's only the biggest event in all of women's golf. You think that might count?
What a shot, though, by Stacy Lewis. That is her father, Dale, once again on the bag. She should be able to tap that one in. That would keep her at -4 and a tie for third place in her first event as a professional.
What a terrific recovery, huh? It would have been easy to sort of crumble there a little bit, because she really came close to maybe being close for an eagle.
She doesn't have a whole lot of crumble in her. She is a fighter.
Roger?
Well, now Paula Creamer's elected to use the putter from about 8 to 10 feet off the front of the green here. It'll be a slow putt up the ridge. Pretty sharp ridge at the start of this green.
Starting to enjoy it now. That's nice. Didn't drive it too bad today. If you want to know more about her round, hit 10 fairways out of 14, but just 8 greens in regulation, and the putter didn't work.
And that adds up to a round of 78, 3 under for the championship. Now Lewis for her par.
Difference with that stick today. 35 putts today, 23 yesterday. But keep an eye on both of these young Americans.
It's her father.
Let's go down to Gary Koch.
Well, I'm here with the winner of the 2008 U.S. Women's Open Championship. Inbee, how does that sound?
Sounds very, very good. I am very honored to win this event, and I still can't believe that I did it, and I don't know what to say. It's just so amazing. I'm just so honored. But it's been 10 years since I started playing golf, and it finally happened, so I'm very happy with that.
You mentioned just 10 years of playing golf. You started 2 days after you watched Sae-Ri Pak win the Women's Open in 1998.
That's right.
Did you ever dream that you would join her as a champion of this event?
I don't know, not until the 18th hole. I just walked on the 18th hole. It's really an honor, and it's very, very special for me that I won this event in 10 years that I started playing golf. And everything's happening so quick, it's almost scary.
You appeared to be very, very calm on the outside. Were you that calm on the inside?
If I say so, it's a lie. I wasn't. I was looking at the leaderboard all the time, and I just knew where I was. I just really try to stay calm, but it's just so exciting moment. I just couldn't do it, but this is my day.
Well, congratulations, and we'll go back up to Mark at 18.
And congratulations indeed. That was Inbee's caddy, Brad Beecher, who I think was a little surprised the water was that shallow. And the youngest winner in U.S. Open history, there it is. It's official, Inbee Park, the age of 19. She's got a birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. And let's take a final look at the leaderboard here at the 63rd U.S. Women's Open. Inbee Park with a 4-shot win. Helen Alfredson all alone in second place.